In this lesson, we are going to review all of the right triangle trigonometry that you should have learned in geometry last year. So all of this is going to be very, very familiar to you. So all of this stuff happens in right triangles only. There are 6 basic trig functions that you should know. You'll probably remember to last year learning about SOHCAHTOA. That's exactly what we're talking about. So if we want to find the sine of an angle, so remember, all of this is relative to whatever our angle is. This is the Greek letter theta, so this is the angle theta. We need to consider the opposite side, the hypotenuse, and then the third one's going to be the adjacent side. And the opposite and adjacent will change depending on which angle you're looking at. But if we're looking at this angle theta, we've got our opposite and adjacent labeled. So if you guys remember, sine, so in the SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, and that's from the SOHCAHTOA. The other 3 trig functions, we call them cofunctions because sine and cosecant go together. This is cosecant if you write it all out. Not like that, that's spelled wrong. Cosecant. And sine and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. So I don't learn a new method for remembering cosecant. I just remember that it's the reciprocal of sine. So it's going to be hypotenuse over opposite. The next one we have is secant. That is a cofunction with cosine. So they're going to be reciprocals. So that is hypotenuse over adjacent. And then this third one is cotangent. And that is reciprocals with tangent. So it's going to be adjacent over opposite. Okay? And the way you're going to remember these, obviously tangent and cotangent go together. Those are pretty clear. The way I remember the other ones is they are opposite letters. So the S and the C go together, sine and cosecant, and then cosine and secant. So S and C again go together. So like I said, these should feel fairly familiar to you. We want to find all 6 trig functions of this angle A. So angle A is over here. We've got all of our sides labeled. We already know what they are, so I'm just going to say this one's opposite of angle A because it's straight across. This is the hypotenuse, so that means the 15 has to be the adjacent side. So we want to find all 6 trig functions. So sine of A is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of A is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so 15/17. And tangent of A is opposite over adjacent, so 8/15. Okay, and that is straight from SOHCAHTOA. To find the other 3, remember sine and cosecant go together. So we're just going to flip that one over, 17/8. Cosine and secant are cofunctions. So we're just going to flip that one over. That'll be 17/15. And tangent and cotangent go together. So we have 15/8. Okay, so those are our 6 trig functions of angle A. So as we just talked about, these are all reciprocals. So sine and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. So sine is 1 over the cosecant, and cosecant is 1 over the sine. That just means they're reciprocals. They're related to each other that way. Same thing with cosine and secant and tangent and cotangent. Okay, we'll come back to talk more about these reciprocal functions in the next chapter as well. All right, so our last one for this video clip is we want to look at this situation. We have sine of B is 5/8, and we want to find the other 5 trig functions. So we know that sine B is 5/8. We want to know what cosine of B is. We want to know what tangent of B is. We want to know secant. Oh, that's not why I wanted that. We want cosecant of B, secant of B, and cotangent of B. Now, one of these is super easy to find. Remember, sine and cosecant are reciprocals of each other. So I know right away that cosecant is going to be 8/5. So we'll just put that one there. For the rest of them, I'm going to need to draw this triangle. So it doesn't really matter what the triangle looks like. It's a right triangle, and it has an angle B somewhere. Again, doesn't matter where I put it. I just decided to put it here. And then we know that sine is 5/8. So that means the opposite side is 5, and the hypotenuse is 8. So if we have 5 and 8. Now, in order to find the other 4 trig functions, we need to have that third side. So we're just going to use the Pythagorean theorem. I'm just going to call this x for now. So this means that x squared plus 5 squared is 8 squared. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we're going to square those and subtract 25 from both sides. So we get x squared equals 39. And take the square root of that, so x is going to be the square root of 39. It has to be positive because it's a length of the triangle. Okay, so now if I want to find the cosine, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the square root of 39 over 8. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So 5 over root 39. I'm going to come back to that one in just a minute. And then I'm going to do reciprocals of those. So cosine, I'm going to do the reciprocal of that to get secant. So I get 8 over root 39. And cotangent is going to be root 39 over 5. Now, the only problem I have is a couple of these have irrational numbers in the denominator. So notice tangent and secant. I need to rationalize the denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. To rationalize the denominator, we're just going to multiply top and bottom by root 39. I'm really running out of space. We'll put it over here. So that's going to be 5 root 39. And then root 39 times root 39 is just 39. And then for secant, I'm going to do the same thing. Multiply top and bottom by root 39. So the secant is going to be 8 root 39, and root 39 times root 39 is 39. Okay, so we do want to rationalize our denominators when we need to, and we only had to do it on 2 of those. In the next video, we will remind ourselves about special right triangles.